I just took a little. I was sleeping, had a wonderful dream. To listen, man. Yo, listen. I'm gonna be real with you. Sightseeing sometimes roof parties is wonderful. I'm a man. I'm accomplishment, and no matter what the situation is, I don't care. And I'm just letting you know how wonderful life is. But I just don't care. But I was glad to see certain things in my dream, and I'm literally telling you, I was literally sleeping, and the things I just seen in my dream. But anyway, but hey, listen, man. Let me tell you how real this is. You ever seen back in the days during the time I was teaching the Mushu calendar, and I was educating individuals right after the Civil War during the years of the epidemic. I call it the epidemic because around that time I was jumping all over the place and just you know doing it, being precise to my situations, and then me being a man that is of honor and a man that is of the reasons of dignity. And I told you I'm an original bounty hunter. Like, I mean, a little, just because I got hurt doesn't mean, some people might not think I'm a bounty hunter, but I'm literally original bounty hunter. And then on top of it, I educated international security. So, I'm into, you know, the society. I'm really a man that is high regarded even in society because you know, after I got hurt, I just wanted to I just want to live my life and be happy. I don't, sometimes I don't do the things that I used to do. So, I'm just a man of society. So I don't know what another individual is really thinking when it comes to certain things. But I'm just gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with individuals. You see, like back in the days after I was educating individuals in Atlanta, I had built a certain structure and certain things even from before, and then they framed me and told me that that I was known as Dr. York, so they tried to entrap me, and then they wanted to total recall me in a certain future virtual reality in a physical reality. But people thought it was virtual reality, but it wasn't virtual reality because it was real reality. So because that's just a level of point of physics of one individual's acknowledgement, but another person thought it was something else and you thought it was a game. I told people I was serious, it wasn't no game. So, you know, I am Asia himself, China himself, the reason of all social economics dignity, no matter what planet you're from. So I'm just gonna be real. So as I was recovering here, they had put me and tried to frame me, and they told me I was doing some Dr. York situation. I had to provide all the physical evidence again in the paradigm. This happens to me in the paradigm, so I have to um, provide all the physical evidence and educate individuals of the time because I'm the real Socrates of the real situations that happen in the paradigms of time, and then the literal Dr. York situation, and then I'm the one that educated the doctors of America. I literally gave them the education. I'm the real, when I say I'm Fidel Castro, I'm just showing you I had even a third world country of love of a reason of acknowledgement. But I am the real Fidel Castro. So I'm just gonna be real with you. Also I own Cuba. But all right, you believe me or not, I don't give a fuck. Whatever you want to think. But and I'm also Asia himself, the real China. But hey, whichever way you want to go about it, I don't know through time, me being hurt, what individuals that entered, there was younger generations at the time when they tried to frame me because when I was Dr. York, and they said that I didn't want to be with certain families a certain type of way or certain people, and then other people were doing things and doing things undercover, and then next their emotions. It was like you ever seen the movie Blade? The individuals of the emotions of the vampiristic movie. It was called Blade, where people followed me for like 30 something or something years, and just waiting to attack at a moment just to really get at me a certain type of way. That it's funny, right? But it's serious because I had There was an astrological empress named Shaylay and Liv, and they had sons. Their names were literally Rags, Edge, Blade, and Shield. So Rags, his mother was a feminine being of the cloth. She made cloth. She knew highly educated in martial arts. Um, Edge mother, same thing. She knew weaponry. Weaponry like darts, the ninja stuff. Highly educated in elements in martial arts. Um, Blade's mother, same thing. She made swords and highly educated in martial arts. Shield's mother, his mother was like, she made reasons of regardment, and I I'm the one that highly educated all of them in their martial arts. Now this is before I got shot, so Now let me just be real with you now. And in the paradigm, certain people got with them, and then try to fuck up individuals' economic system. The Mushu calendar was, and I'm gonna let you know something. The Mushu calendar wasn't even. They resided in Japan because, the the reason of their point of their celestial access was a reflection point towards the Japan reason of the calendar. They were of the calendar of era. Now the reflection point was towards the Japan the Japan region of their humane condition of their physical reality to the further out planets of their existence. And me, I just educated individuals, so the people of Japan that really resided in Japan was really other people of other social economic systems. They just, those are the type of people that just don't want to speak about other things that's going on in their life and according to their education, even if it was after or before Mushu. It doesn't even matter, So, I believe in segregation because one has to respect the reason of dignity and order of even of one's orientation for reasons and stuff. I had situations with Japan also a long time ago because when my son Genghis Khan, my literal son was Genghis Khan, when he was getting educated, he decided to want to go inside of China and invade China because he didn't know that I owned the regions of China at the time because I didn't want him to know too much about me because his temperament and the things that he was doing and he was learning his education. So him wanting to go conquer and do all type of things was, it was a viewpoint for an individual in the physical realm. And this is way before certain other things. So now, let me just be real with you. So, I just didn't need him to know too much about my situations in certain type of way at a time. But he didn't know that I own the region or all the continent. So also China, I own this planet. Literally, I own this planet. So, you know, and all social economic planets or the social economic education. So, I'm just gonna be real. So now at a time a person doesn't acknowledge this and then you have individuals wondering about what's going on with my land and stuff, so I just didn't want to tell individuals the way they were going to come about their situation. So after Genghis Khan, after what he did, I had to watch the individual a certain type of way. Now if you have people at the time that's dishonoring people. And there's a person that studied my humane condition to my empress at a certain point that's sending it to me, that's knocking out people's consciousness. But the families that's doing that are the families that was residing in Atlanta because they spread all over the place with their certain economic teaching, and then they wanted to do these malicious type of things when it came to a person's acknowledgement in the physical reality. So, these are people that want, they're the ones that's gonna form groups that's gonna want to discourage people and try to fuck up the economic system because ain't nobody gotta try nobody and there ain't no gang. Because when they told me I was Dr. York, they tried to frame me and said it was me at a time that was doing all this gang activity and all type. No, 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 no. I never did no funny things. I was on into the international security. Now I'm just gonna tell you just like this: when you're educating children and you seeing their endeavors, one has to be one has to be vitally delicate dealing with these type of individuals, even in the physical reality, when it comes to their habitation and humane condition, because the higher consciousness and the acknowledgement of other individuals. So um, one had to look upon individuals with with serious seniority, and literally and, and reviewing or viewing, or how can I say this, watching obstruction while the correct individuals is getting instructed. So, I'm just gonna be real. So now, if you have people at the time, just like, what Genghis Khan did, because in the paradigm of time, when you see they had the flood in Japan and in China, you got to remember, in the paradigm of time, remember Genghis Khan tried to invade China. And the reason of the flood is because somebody from China and some other region near China, or probably the United Kingdom, or certain people from England, probably wanted a part of their soil and land to their astrological empress, because remember, Asia is the main empress, so they probably wanted some acknowledgement from a certain type of empress, and probably somebody that married and caused a bad nervous system that's causing a bad humane condition, most likely in the zodiac signs, is causing like probably the wrong chemistry in one's humane condition. So they're probably causing like you know sexual transmitted disease sick sexual transmitted disease sicknesses, or they're probably causing some type of herpes, or some type of fucked up chemistry that's leading individuals to do the wrong thing. And then you have the empress of this earth. So certain people might have did something wrong to certain people, and then might be a certain type of reform or retaliation, but one has to be precise to the things that's happening. And then when you have different there was empresses. I'm a man that's very intellectual. So you have natural earth empresses that was also around in the human condition, and those type of empresses, what they would do, they would just read books. They didn't like reading too much, actually, because they already knew everything that was going on. But they were type of people that love the how can I say this, they were like archaeologists. They were like people that is archaeologists, and love the horizons of acknowledgement and stuff, and they they were people that was very concerned in, in one's uprising and, and habitation, even in life. So there's a lot I can say about the situation, but those are my real wives also, my literal wives and stuff. They're supposed to know about certain things, but I don't speak to them at times, because certain situations. I think, I was looking at this commercial. I seen my wife, but I was looking at this commercial one day with the Christian Dior, and I think the girl took a piss in in a pool in gold or something. I had an allergic reaction to this girl that was in this pool of gold and stuff. So I I don't know if it was because she was in the pool of gold, if there was somebody else in the pool at the time and they just played a certain type of sequencing and another person didn't know what was going on. I don't know I don't know what what type of development a certain type of way that caused that reaction when I had it, when I seen it. That I know for a fact that girl wasn't supposed to be in that pool of gold. Once I looked upon her, I said, "This has nothing to do with my wife. These people look like they're in a part of Rome, Italy, or Egypt in a pool of gold." And I'm like, "This can't be. This can't. This is impossible for me to see something like that, because it, they would never dare do something like that in China, and they would never dare do something like that in other third world countries." So I was like, "Nah, this couldn't be. This couldn't be. if that was something, it wouldn't have been nothing like that in England. So I was like, that couldn't be. Now, United Kingdom, that's something different, But from that type of reaction, the people that I view on this international security, the people that I'm viewing sometimes when I'm watching these movies are not people that I recognize a certain type of way because I never had certain type of people in my life, and I I I I'm acknowledgeful of this because my children are different when it comes to the humane condition of the physical reality. They're extremely alluring, pretty, fair, you'll look upon them and you'll be like, oh man. So you had people even in America because you know America is also a part of it, but you had people in America that was extremely pretty, beyond alluring a certain way. But those are people that just have their own social economic system on their own planets, and they're not here. And this is a private planet for private education, so certain people is not supposed to be here at a certain time, even in their life. Like there's not supposed to be old people. You might have people that come here to visit because they were educated here. My wife resides in Mount Me. I live here also at times because I'm a real star being. I have other plans for myself. Like nobody there is like literally for myself. Then nobody will ever be there. Nobody will, it'll only be me throughout the paradigm of time. Only me, Rafael and JR. But my wife had her own planet, and then I'm the one that made it for her. And then all the things I did, there's planets with structures that nobody's there, nobody can't even find or ever see. Like literal structures, like beyond nicer than the places that or anything that develops in America or anywhere around the world. I mean, literal planets that nobody's in, that, that could hold trillions, zillions of people. And I built the structure by myself, like literal, real structure, real planets, invisible, gone. You would never find it. Now, and it's been like this since I've been recovering. So, it's just wondering, like, another individual wonders how real situations are. Whatever, man. I rebuilt America, right? Look what happened after the war the first, and then look at America now. Matter of fact, look at the Northwest, all the North continents, the North and Western continents, the Western continents, the Mid Northwest East continent, the not the East continent, the North continent. I rebuilt all of that. You remember what happened? It was an all-out world war that ended up causing a galactic war, and I rebuilt all of it. All of the structures and everything. And then look what y'all did to the world trade. I don't say nothing. I'm not the type of person that tells you to go to Japan or Korea, and then Japanese and Koreans gotta watch out. You gotta watch out for people. But I seen this guy saying he was renting a family. Be careful of the things and the acts that people do and have people do in time. And then they say you do this or you do me a favor at this time. So be careful of doing funny things like that because you do things like that and then you'll end up finished in a physical reality because in the paradigm of time, the Empress got to know her situation precisely. And if you have people trying to wear her out in a certain type of intent at a time, then you got to be very careful because a person will be going looking for a family and do certain things, and then next you'll be targeting people through time. So a person don't do something like that. It's like voting. If you have people that's voting socio-economically, that means they're gonna go after the hierarchy of individuals' dignity even at a time because of their I guess their endeavors or their ignorance or because of what they're mad at that's already happening according to situations even in life. So, I'm just gonna be real. So, you know, but anyway, speaking about Genghis Khan, when he tried to invade China, I had to side with Alexander because I had to defend the regions, and I didn't need them going to the Roman regions that would have caused even more controversy at a point of acknowledgement at a hierarchy that would have had individuals um, in life and danger in the paradigm of time after certain things done happen, after I've done made situations at ease for them so they could be okay and be able to, the earth could be able to survive for the future. So, I made sure that I combated, how can I say this? I I united. I united with Alexander, and then I, I, I made sure my son Genghis Khan was okay, and I watched and disciplined the situations because it led up to other situations in the paradigm of time, even from King David. That his situation went bad there. People were screaming on me from back then. All through existence have been like that. People will let the situation be a certain type of way, then all types of things, and it'll happen a certain type of way. So certain things causes is why people had a regimen and a rap sheet about certain things. That's why people had to keep a point of order in their human condition, their habitation, their social economics, or their education, even for the time they were residing even on this planet. Because individuals need to know if something happens in case of emergency at another time. And then as we're going into future and future science, so something happens to you a certain way, individuals will be able to save your life a certain way because certain things you'll think everything is okay, and then one day somebody will find out you need your life saved because somebody did something a certain type of way and they went after you. Now you have Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Back to the Future. You have Dr. Oz show. You have this all type of Stargate, Star Trek. You'll never know another person's intentions at a time being in, if you're already being influenced or misguided by other individuals in time that was just thinking about their greed and other things that happen, and on top of it, just trying to get a cheap form of pleasure at a time where they feel nobody's paying attention. I'm a person. I run a strict economic system. Ain't nobody robbing me, my love of myself, or my wife. They're not robbing me, my wife, and the love of myself, of me and my wife. You hear what I'm saying? Literally, this is how I am. So I'm just gonna be real with you. So you gotta be very careful in the things that you do to even also keep some type of regimen and acknowledgement, even when it comes to the caretakers, if you know the caretakers, or the natural guidance of your, international security for one's own safety and to make sure about the situation. That's only if you're a person that was doing the things that you were supposed to do. I'm just gonna be real. And if you were really here for a reason, that's not somebody that is just causing a natural deterrence or demineralization because they're calling for me to call for Hercules to come clean. Like yo, you gotta get rid of all these type of things. Muttons is not. This is not. I can't. I'm not doing funny things no more. The other person said, but ain't you the one that's Hercules? No, I'm the real Zeus. I had to make his regimen for even his education when I refined his astrological tree, so they would follow their regimen according to their existence. You had people that was going after people in martial art temples that was trying to break through their chambers. Those were people that was causing the wrong type of things to happen around the world. It's just like, let me explain something to you, right? Dealing with estates, real estate, apartments, lands, lofts, um, towns, villages. Let me explain something to you about these things. You had real people through the paradigm of time being educated at a certain point in time as they went around learning their education in other different ways and other places, different times for reasons, right? Now, if you have an individual in life that is making you do real estate or renting places of other people, and then you're trying to manipulate the social economic system to say you live here, your family's. No, you don't have no fucking family here. You don't fucking live there. You're just here to be educated. How old are you? Did you have children? If you had children with somebody else, get the fuck off my planet. You hear what I'm saying? Okay. Go to your home planet, whoever sent you there, the caretakers know to take you there. Get the fuck away from me. I'm being serious. You better do the right thing and get the fuck away from me. I'm the real Mossad, the real man that made existence. If you're gonna cause an own infection and cause this devastation of your higher conscience of your original planet of purity, where the individuals that sent you here of your real family, of the continuance of me and my wife, and then you killing your stars. That means you're killing them and causing falling stars. That means you're literally, it's like when the television show shows you this, you're literally causing falling stars. You're gonna end up stupid and sick. you're gonna end up being real stupid also. Because your social economic habitation of the human condition is of one precise situation. And if you cause a falling star, you're gonna end up stupid and you're just gonna end up like a punching bag, a stupid dummy. Like something that would be called looked upon like a zombie. That was considered like calendars of Israelites to make zombies, like Aaron Light, um, Stone Men, those calendars were zombie makers. Be very fucking careful of the people you come in contact with and the things that you do in social economics because other people be calling other people and then they be through time. I have children that yo listen. I have so much plans. I gave my children their own planet. You think this is the real this is the education of it. They have their own planets here. My sons, the star beings, like my children, even my sons Helen and Troy and Helen and them. They have their own planets. They literal own planets. I gave them planets. Listen, I gave them planets for education, their own comfort, and they have planets for their own gathering, and then they have a planet for that each individual, according to their situation, have their own planet that they govern at a time. So they have their own planet. Get the fuck off my fucking planet. Go to whoever sent you back over here. Or yo, listen, go back to them niggas. Get the fuck off my planet to whoever sent you there. You're gonna cause a falling star. You're gonna cause your own death and sickness. I don't need no suicide to stupid people. I'm recovering in a paradigm of time from a fucking gunshot. Get the fuck off the planet. Yo, listen. This is celestial Earth. The lower form of celestial is dealing with uh, 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 cellular activity. There's another activity right in between, but I'm just telling you about the cellular activity. Get the fuck off this planet. Science is real. Get the fuck off this planet. Yo, let me tell you something. I made a video a little earlier speaking about people that drink alcohol and all they want to do is party, 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 buy bottles. Be careful of people buying alcohol. I'm educated you. Be careful of people buying medication bottles because they want to know where the medication was processed. Be careful of people trying to get their hands on certain medication because we don't need a sacred ninja through time. Just wanted to go exactly to bust your ass at a certain place at a time, just to finger pop you at times that you don't know nothing about. Be careful of these things because these things will lead up to a literal galactical war. Because a person, why do you call it galactical? This is when I'm gonna get involved in it because I have to at the time. I'm gonna sit down the Empress, the real Empress. I'm gonna conduct certain things within her, and then by then, I'll show you why I'm the Emperor of all spirits. Live in the flesh and direct in the physical reality. Now, I'm just gonna be real, and I'll show you why educated international security. Now, I'm just gonna be real, so there's no person to tell me to do anything at a time. Is what I'll be doing is making sure that people that was in bad fact don't worry about it. But let me just tell you something about certain things. You need to be careful of those type of situations. You need to be careful, you people that's doing dispensaries. I don't smoke weed, but I don't agree with that weed dispensary thing. Be careful doing that weed dispensary thing. I don't know if you just trying to get certain glass or something from somewhere, and then you causing individuals as drug addicts to go in certain places that's learning martial arts. So be careful of certain things because you know something. I'm gonna call one certain particular people for you a certain type of way, and they're gonna come and get you. I don't give a fuck what social economic system you're in. At that time, I'm gonna go let individuals know they have to literally go settle at a high point for their emotions, because what I'm gonna end up doing, I'm gonna just make sure that situation never happens, and I'm gonna do it through international security on the highest level of international security. So let me tell you something, right? Now I'm gonna just be real. I'm gonna be real with individuals. I don't agree with your magnifying glasses. The individuals I'm looking for is your scientists and your doctors with magnifying glasses. Those are the individuals I'm gonna go get first. Those are the first individuals I'm gonna go recruit. Because I want to find out. I'm not bringing them to. We're bringing you outdoors to somewhere out open. You don't gotta be inside no four-wall place. You could be live in some field that nobody cares about nothing, and we'll just be conducting it from there. Yeah, bro. Who did you show that education? Who who showed? Listen. Who told you to show that person that education? And then from there, because I don't know if you had a homeboy or homegirl from another social economic tree, and then you have an empress that has orders within themselves, and then you broke order and caused a little outbreak in secrecy. Yo, I'll be hollering soon near you. But anyway, I'm gonna show you why I make specialists. I'm gonna be real. Your literal video game individuals, your 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 goggle glasses, optical lenses individuals, I'll be looking for you. Your video game individuals, I'll be looking for you. Your seal individuals that that try to open and make your own products and that seals their own products. I'll be coming to get you, and literally you won't be worrying about making your products no more. Your your uh your your microscopic individuals, even in NASA, will be collecting you. And individuals of certain social, economic, and districts and precincts, international security will be coming to, demote you at the time and collecting you and removing you from your social economic system. And also your mirror and glass makers of your little boutique and stores and factories. I'll be coming to gather you all in one shot just to make sure the situation is different time. And you better have the precise regimen of everything that was going on with yourself. But this is information worldwide for the real acknowledgement to spread in a person's consciousness when it comes to international security. But I'm just gonna be real. If you since Genghis Khan already invaded China at a time, there'll be people that's kind of trying to reside. It's gonna be like the reverse. They're gonna reside from China or certain other regions, or probably even Russia, because I don't really get into things in Russia. Russia is a place of cold climate. I, I don't bother people in those type of climates. I don't get into things like that. That's a very dangerous place. Be very careful. You know, um, I'm gonna just tell you just like this. Since Genghis Khan invaded China before, you're gonna have individuals from China and Australia also, because people from Australia is gonna want to know about China's certain sacred calendars. They're gonna be going after sacred scrolls. So the people that's gonna be conducting and causing these type of things in the time is people in like the West South California, Australia, probably Nicaragua, the rainforest, certain people point to certain Africa. If these are the main people, I'm telling you for a fact, I'm the one that made the astrological empress. So I'm telling you for a fact, these are gonna be the people that's gonna want to know certain information, that's gonna be causing these type of uproars in social society, and those are the people from their high points of their higher consciousness are gonna be the ones that's conducting and causing this through time a certain type of way because they want a certain form of acknowledgement, probably because of a certain setting in the higher consciousness when it comes to the astrological empress. So it's gonna be real. So my caretakers, we're gonna have to go view individuals a certain type of way, and then on top of it, the best people y'all gonna want to know. Y'all gonna want to go get the individuals of you know the individuals of comfort. I don't really I don't really say certain things, but I think you want to probably go get individuals of comfort that naturally love certain settings and when it comes to comfortability or whatever, right? So because those are people that's just mad that I've really made an empress in a certain way and they didn't want information. So this is why they were probably getting with the four because it's like backwards and cracking the jewel of the tent. You understand what I'm saying? So be very careful. And you know who else you wanna wanna get? If pre-prime trance or transformers were ever going after people and a paradigm of time and life, and then you wanted to get somebody, you might want to go to these amusement parks. The people that go karting, the people with go karts, the people with what's it called? The place where you go and then they get into that little car and they drive around and then that's when they crash into each other or they drive around the track and stuff. Those are the people that you're gonna really. If you're from pre-prime trance or a transformer, you're gonna have to know the regimen of those people all through the existence and every person. You're literally gonna want to know every person that paid for that type of situation even at the time because there was a time I went to an amusement park called Coney Island and then they literally we went to like the go karts where you crash into each other or you just drive around. You're supposed to just you drive around and not can't just enjoy yourself. But people were crashing into each other, like, and they see me, and boom, they're like, oh, you doing crash into me, they try to make it from like an ignorance because they didn't want nobody realizing that they were gonna be the ones fucking up the insurance and causing identity theft and insurance fraud at a time. So be very careful. Those are your financial aid criminals that was building up to be your fucking future Lex Lugers that was gonna go after the jade stones, the different jade stones of existence because he was getting to future technology. So if the Jew empresses wasn't giving him a certain type of acknowledgement, then he was gonna probably just try to steal their stone because he wanted to. It's like experiencing other outside sex at a time and spoiling other people's conduct. So a person was being a collector when it came to the stones, and people's social economic stone is very sacred because if a man gets a divorce and loses his apartment, his house, or estate, you don't want a chick or getting murdered. You don't want somebody having those type of things on in their hands, and then you don't know how much influence they already had that was already watching them, that was already trying to cause their downfall. Because you have people that's stupid that don't really fucking think. So be very fucking careful. So people that was gonna go after Skull and Bones, thinking other type of things, or on some old Indiana Jones Crystal Skull type situations, or Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider type situation. Trying to, you might even have people that doesn't know what the tribunal is about. So be very careful because those are people that are in certain forms of secrecy that reach a certain point of acknowledgement, a certain type of way at a level, and people that's trying to keep it honest, and the corrupt situations that's corrupting their situation is probably going to be a part of their placement a certain type of way that they'll call upon. But what they're looking and learning through time is the positioning of different things. So they'll get rid of the honesty point of the tribunal. So if the tribunal it went evil and it started demoralizing itself, that's when it needed to be stopped at that point and then, reviewed. And this is for the international security who was supposed to know this, but if you don't let things prolong in certain people's hands, even my caretakers of other social economics, and when it comes to other people and their habitations, even of their atmosphere and planets, they weren't supposed to let certain things prolong or let people have too much amusement when me and my wife is not there. I don't care how old the person gets. Safety, security, and love of one's existence, of the reason of one's habitation and humane condition is first when it comes to one's education of one's love of oneself. So you never let somebody cause certain things to get out here that will complicate me and my wife comfortability at any point in time in the physical reality of life. But I'm just gonna be real, man. So Genghis Khan had to watch out because if you have people that's literally they tried to flood Japan because they wanted to a certain thing of the soil a certain type of way, and the only way they were going to get it was by causing devastation to certain countries. So be careful of other people that's being bad mechanics that's gonna say, "Oh, we work for that," and they just want to use a power just to see how to utilize. Those are people that's gonna abuse their physical reality, what they have, and they're gonna end up causing devastation. And don't let them do it in anatomy or high alchemy light, because they'll end up trying to kill the empress for real in a physical reality. And remember, I'm recovering from a gunshot, and I'm the real raw and the real Osiris. So be careful. The Empress has real planets in her and also has an atmosphere I gave her. So if people's trying to go into solar panel technology and all type of thing, they might try to murder, kill, or rape my wife. Be very careful of the things that you do. Because my wife doesn't die. She never died. She never got hurt in the physical reality. So when I put her away, those are other people that's causing certain things and reactions because they probably really want to kill her because they on some boyfriend and girlfriend. I just want to live for the moment. I don't know nothing about those type of people. I don't know what that is after when you start seeing people with their thoughts showing you things like that, and then most likely the Empress is just trying to regard herself and being smart with her situation. Be very careful with those type of people. They don't care for international security. Be very careful. Yo, listen, man. I care. This is the reason why I made international security. So, be very careful even within international security. Men that's just going on tours, and then next thing you know, their tours is probably some horror type situation. Like they just want to whore the women or not even women, the ladies. It's not supposed to even be women because the person doing demonic science is not supposed to be in international security. You already have a zodiac. You don't need people that do demonic science to be a part of international security. That goes without not avoid. If you want to see something a certain type of way, you gotta be precise and go get the real situation. You don't show people how to demoralize themselves when it comes to the human condition and learning ethics and education for the future. We don't need no demoralization. We're individuals going to the future. So demoralizing somebody or de, de, causing deterioration is nothing on my part, and I didn't agree with the zodiac sign. But if you have a situation when it comes to international security, you go get individuals you literally go get those individuals and let them handle their situation a certain type of way. They really know why certain things shouldn't be done, and nobody else should be conducting anything funny because they have to get rid of it instantly because of their their humane condition of their physical reality when it comes to their habitation, because their situations doesn't need to be worse than what already is in a certain type of acknowledgement of their physical reality. That's how real the situation is. And on top of it, you have to make sure you have to get somebody of high humanity and high amenity just to be able to make sure it's being conducted precisely so they don't get themselves hurt, and they shall not even know about the situation while the situation happens, literally. Now, a person that does nothing to do with the zodiac sign, make sure of this and be careful. And if, on matter of fact, certain of my caretakers of my international security know exactly how to do what I'm speaking about. Other people don't even gotta concern themselves. That is on that is on neutral habitation. All right. Anyway, Genghis Khan will have to be very careful because you might have people that just want some type of form of soil because they want to start some physics before they weaken somebody, like they're trying to change the point of history to undo the empress and cause the death of the empress. Because nobody, if a person's trying to operate on my empress and my wife, that's the person that's gonna kill my empress. I'm gonna be Yo, my nigga, nobody does nothing like that. The Empress could survive longer than anybody for somebody talking about something stupid like that. I don't want to hear that. You gotta have to get rid of those people or somebody who ever tries to think like that or ever tries to cause that example ever in the physical reality. Now, I'm gonna just tell you something else. People like be careful, you people, because you really don't know my families like the Ings, the Chin. You don't know my Asian families. You don't know families from my other social economic systems like that. That's of the hierarchy of the real reason of existence. My real family, my children that I have, are of the real hierarchy of the real human condition of the physical reality. You don't know them like that. So, and they have their own plans, and they view the children at the time that is continuing their habitation and their love of the reason of their education and acknowledging it in a physical reality. Now, if you have children at a time that, want to go get into real estate, and all type of things like that, like you're selling things off, when my children find out about that thing, you might as well get into some type of other work in life. Don't worry about buying houses, renting houses with other men and saying you have families and then you want to rent and buy a house. Once you start saying that and you're on this planet or I'm viewing you on this international electrical system, you will be removed from wherever you are because this is not a planet for you to say that you're owning or have family and buy. You're not me. I'm the only one that refines the human condition, and my caretakers move situations as I go along if something happens a certain type of way. But if I'm not doing nothing, yo, my dude, I don't want to hear about other people and their families telling me this, making space. There's no making space. Everybody has their own planet of purity. They could have went back to their planet. They don't come here to the point of the real reason of their acknowledgement and consciousness and tries to be cause disruption or disruption because if a person's bleeding or having a brain aneurysm, they could bleed from the mouth. You don't want to cause a disruption or cause distortion or cause the demoralization and cause the trauma to their conscience. You don't do stupid things like that. You remove those stupid shits from my fucking planet and put them back on their natural habitation that sent them. Them, and matter of fact, their boyfriend and all some of them. If they got an outside boyfriend and I thought he was cool with them, bye bye. I don't know him. Bye bye. If something happens, it shouldn't be there. Go bring it to where it's supposed to be. If they move, something happens. Bring whatever's supposed to be somewhere. Bring to where it's supposed to be. Remove it from my planet now. Feel my name. I don't need the pimples growing in social economics of purity, my nigga. Yo, listen, if people's get into real estate and then you wondering why your life is going to shit, how come your life is fucked up, and you was some next stupid nigga from some next social economic tree, and from some next celestial tree, astrological tree, and it's not even your man, and then you having stupid shit that's fucking up your life, and then you always arguing, you don't care, and then you see your humane condition of your chemistry start having discomfort odors. That's because you sold a point of your acknowledgement and ruined your own life because that was you were probably at a place that caused that, and then you sold a form of your foundation of the reason of your consecration. Stupid thing to do. Mm-mm-mm. Consecration is holy, purity, a point of the protection of even of your habitation to the humane condition. Now, era knows this because they had stonemen that studied and knew element stone science and element stone magic. So people that did things like that were very stupid in life. People doing that type of magic shouldn't even disrespect people's consecration because if they're really of people of the second calendar that knows and acknowledges air and light, they would never do something like that. But if you've seen people doing something like that, those are people that didn't care about even the reason of their calendar. That's like a person that would have to give up. It's like telling air and light to give up on themselves silently without even saying that. It's like a silent murder. You're my dog. Be very fucking careful. You see? Be very careful of the type of people in the physical reality. Because you have people that do certain things a certain time. Hold on for a second. You have people of certain acknowledgement that doesn't regard the reason of their higher conscience. Be very careful with that type of acknowledgement when it comes to the human condition and the physical reality. Those are people that's breaking order of a high order of real sacredcy. That's not no little. That's not a little kid doing after that. It's to be acknowledged as a point real of real sacredcy a certain type of way. You can't take that as a game because you're killing a consciousness of individuals that was already complete, and then you don't know what type of foundation they went after on a certain type of way. Because the next step from Aaron Light is Stoneman, and then Aaron Light was already complete before Stoneman calendar, so you'll never know what type of foundation they went after of real consecration. You gotta be very careful. If I told you the physics of air and light, those are people very, they've never been distinguished funny people and stuff. I believe in deprivation. I believe in certain type of things. People that do that try to set the wrong type of chemistry in certain type of situations, like sauna, what you call massage parlors, Nassau, uh, you know, uh, 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 you know, people that do certain type of other science. So when it comes to gliding, hoverboarding, bungee jumping, you're looking for certain type of people that's doing funny weird things when it comes to certain things like that. You're looking for certain people that's getting into certain weird little science that nobody's gonna tell you about hang gliding. You're even looking for people with their little hand helicopters and stuff. Yo, it's so real. I made a cell phone for the international security, even the light element system of the real empress that has a cell phone that has like propellers, and the phone flies by itself. It airs out, flies by itself, and it goes certain places. Be very careful of certain people, my dude. Let me tell you something, man. The phone itself is like this iPhone I'm holding. It has like a 7 or 4, or 7 or 4, or even sometimes, depending on the size, two propellers that literally hover up and then it goes out. And say it's a cell phone also, but be very careful. Let me tell you something. You're going after people that have little remote control devices for like well, I don't know what is this shit called because I've seen it but I never bought one for myself. But you the little flying droid that goes out and views certain things. Be very careful. You're looking at people that's doing like some type of hang gliding or the new hang gliding suits. All type of people that's doing some funny science just to cause a certain type of reaction at a time because they might have been a part of a certain harmony or harmonical or a certain type of circle at the time, and then next you know they try to sabotage their harmony and leading them with the force of the magic leading them into different places they're not supposed to be led in. Most likely the people that's doing that are people that know caretakers that introduce them. It's just like being a part of a mob or a family, somebody vouching for somebody, but they're trying to get rid of the person that acknowledged them at the point because they want to be able to. So those are people that's like a little note. Those are little pass note individuals that sit in places and pass little notes to themselves, and then they come with their own future plan of just some old social galactical takeover or something or some stupid shit. So those are people that don't believe in the hierarchy, the reason of the empress. They're just born funny, the things I explain to you all of my YouTube recordings a certain ways. You gotta be very careful, man, and make sure my YouTube recordings stay on YouTube because it's for acknowledgement of the consciousness. Make sure it is. Listen, man. Oh man, I have private documentaries that's more intricate than my YouTube documentaries. So be very careful. So I'm a man that's very intellectual and precise with situations, especially when it comes to secrecy. And I plan to get more Sanders chips. So the people that's probably causing this also is the people of Sanders. Be very careful. You might want to go after that type of situation. So it might be somebody provoking people to want to go after that type of situation because they're already mad with the evidence of the secrecy I already have, and they just want to get rid of the evidence because of the way they really fucked up, and then they realizing how serious situations got, and then you might have somebody that realized somebody got into something, and then they're sitting there quiet trying to find other people and doing funny other things. Be very careful. You don't know the longevity of certain situations in certain ways. I'm just telling you of the prevention of what you have to look for, especially if you're international security. Now, I'm just gonna be real. I don't do certain things, but I'm a regard my own life because I know I'm the real most high and the reason is real sacred. You know, before people try to document me, they tried to free me because I didn't want to be with certain other people, and they wanted to blame me for being wrong, and they just wanted me to love somebody to fuck up just to change the human condition because they thought I was gonna fall in love with a piece of shit that would have just caused deterioration in my life. So because the fact that they couldn't get their fucking situation, their experiments, they were doing like, that's stupid. Their experiments they were doing a certain time. That had nothing to do with me because nobody's gonna manifest my wife, and my wife was real, and these people were just mad because they know that, if my wife came back and they were happen to be around, that certain things will happen a certain type of way. And then on top of it, if they do go back to their plane of purity, they're already trying to get rid of the hierarchy. If they were doing it here, that means if they cause the uproar here, that means they're probably going to do it in their planet, period. The reason why I'll let you go back and send you over there, because the individuals over there have to bend together and deal with it, because nobody's going to be living comfortable a certain type of way, and then some stupid shit that just fucked up everything. No. That shit got to go back. You can't stay here, man. Oh, for real. Boyfriend and all, whatever it had is going back over there with you. You can't let it stay by me because I'm the real most high. The point of consciousness is that there's no way of getting sick dying instantly. If you go into the future, there's no rapid dying or nothing like that. Listen, some people in the future don't worry about that because the times we're going in, we're not going into times of stupidity. We're going into times of eloquence, elegance, and equality of love. We're not going into an equality of glory and the reasons of social structure of the future for the high rise of the hierarchy. It's like air and light would love the reason of the future. You listen, get rid of your stupid shits. Just thinking anything else. You listen, man, I don't want to hear nothing else, man. I can't tell you no more. The things that you gotta really be looking for. You have individuals in life, man, that's just targeting people in their seats. If you have people that's trying to sell off their seats, you're selling off a point of your secrecy, you're trying to fuck up families, and that means you probably learned something about certain individuals, and you're trying to get the Empress energy hostage, and she has a real star beard. You see, I have certain points of Empresses that's within me that, that have a point of acknowledgement, but they're complete, so they don't care about what happens a certain type of way in a physical rap. But once you start doing something wrong, you will need to be disciplined and you need to be handled because another person is just probably gonna do something wrong to somebody a certain type of way, knowing that they had harmony with somebody a certain type of way at the time. It's something they remembered, and then next thing you know, when they get to another place, it'll be a devastation because what they were really targeting. Be very careful. Watch the movie Omega Code when he was sitting there with the computer, the master computer. Like, if somebody do something minute here, then it ended up a big devastation here. The tragic event is gonna happen somewhere else. Watch the movie Omega Code, bro. Yo, listen. I have nothing else to say. International security, I love you. If it's causing me to have a certain regard at the time, what caused me to have my regard when it comes to my social economic comfortability, because if somebody can get paid to regard me, that's wonderful if they wanted to get paid. But what happened to my comfort and I'm not paying for pussy? Why the fuck? I'm not gonna escort my wife. Ain't nobody gonna cause me to devalue my wife's morals, of her value, of her consciousness, of her habitation. Nobody's gonna make me try to pay to devalue my wife in her morals of her habitation at the time, because they want they want to access my wife like they're Lex Luger working with a jewel just to fucking get to a point of jewel that we can get it like a hooker and then kidnap it. And next thing you know, so his little fucking stupid children are having little basement dungeon parties somewhere. I don't need none of that type of influence. And let me just be real with you. I am the real Forbes himself. If Forbes astrological tree didn't believe me and they want to see one empress, and if one empress are really, really going to show them one empress that they would want to see to know for themselves, that has to be seen. I call my wife to verify a situation. I'll show you myself. Only my children need to know how real my situation is. And according to my other children, I don't gotta say anything about certain things, man. Some of you will see each other when we ever get to see each other at a time in life. But I told you I'm the real Rothschild. I'm Rockefeller himself. Another person says, another person says, yo, listen, man, is your name Hot? I don't want to tell you, man. There was a dude that used to hang out with this dude named Source Money, and there was another name I was known by. It starts with an H. Has something to do with Harley Davidson. It's really me, but another man is just living my life a certain type of way that's not supposed to even be there. A certain type of anyway. Don't worry about it though. Me, Denton, but I'm just I'm pre-prime trends. Harvey, listen, man. I don't want to get into certain things, man. We'll speak another time, and don't try to lie to people that is a higher consciousness that look at you like you're stupid at the time if you try to manipulate it. So, and if a person thinks there's somebody that's not higher than them, I'll tell the constellations, the astrology stars, the star clusters, and the stars. Be careful of the shape and form that you take at a time, because another person learned a point of science and a humane condition just to might be just to cause the lowering and expulsion of your light because of whatever they may have been through. So be very careful to the humane condition of other individuals, because if I got shot, what caused them to be at a high point? Because the precise guidance is just like what I made with the YouTube video earlier today, speaking to you about the martial arts. When a person's pretty handsome, you're a pretty handsome person educating them, and you gotta be precise. Anyway, loved one, man. You know, um, I'm gonna just go enjoy myself and my nourishment for my day. And you literal, how can I say this? you telescopes and you you eyeglass individuals and you your sacred glass mirror workers that wanted to break into the Jew empresses that was working with other individuals and stuff that was trying to learn forms of science. Because if a person goes to a corporation, works at McDonald's, it's like cutting a person simply off in the point of physics. It's just like we look for a glass store. How would they get to cut off a jewel empress on the purity and cause fucked up reality? Those are individuals that's getting into certain points of secrecy that is not of when it comes to dark consciousness. Because a person of dark consciousness that get into certain things like that, her secrecy was never dark consciousness. We don't need a person framing my wife when she has nothing but a wonderful acknowledgement that is the most clarity in the reality existence. We're speaking of the time. I'm gonna go enjoy my comfort. And when I mean enjoy I'm gonna go enjoy my own habitation in my room. But I'm gonna just say just like this. Be careful of other people in my social economic system, especially people that claim to be international security around me. If they're a feminine being, get them the fuck away from me. Because it's just like girls being in the army calling their boyfriend at home. That's an infiltrated international security. They ain't even care about their own secrecy. What the fuck makes you think they're gonna care about international security? They're in a person being in the army, and then next they're calling their boyfriend. They calling some nigga that they wasn't even with, and they just trying to make it seem like it's okay. Like they trying to influence, like okay, oh, I'm a part of this social. I'm a part of this the high insurance of life system. So let me just call this person here and make it seem like this is the person that's important and it doesn't matter. It's like telling the empress here, don't care about your husband, just call your son. This is what matters right now. Call somebody else. This guy knows about you a certain time. This is what matters right now. And then she had things with the guy. Yo, listen, this is like what? It's like stinking up. It's like causing infiltration in international security. International security even had their own lights. Let me just tell you how real this is. This is like a chick being in the army or military or armed forces. There's not supposed to be chicks in the private precincts, my nigga. And if there are, they, they're only called upon at certain times. They're not even supposed to have feminine. Matter of fact, they're not even supposed to have other feminine partners at the time. Then on top of it, if you have a chick, and they're not supposed to be comforted, and this time right before they go back to go back to the precinct, they're not even supposed to go back to the precinct together. Matter of fact, they can go back to the precinct together, depending on another person's comfortability and their own safety at the time. But you know, be careful of girls that get into international security, and then you have men doing tours that just want to hoard them chicks and just want to be in the girl's pussy. Say, because I was a part of international security, I defended you, I still get some pussy. When you start hearing things like that, when it comes to certain empresses and certain lights, they got another person. Just I guess it must have been a gunshot from rapid fire. It must have been the torture from a soldier being grabbed and tortured and injected with a needle at the time. It might have been a poison medication that they found a soldier and they treated him at the time, or they found a soldier and then somebody tried to kill him or something secretly at the time, or it might have been an off-duty soldier that was recovering or somewhere that just they didn't worry about that type of life that they might have murdered and killed at the time, and the physics is just showing in the natural tours of international security. It's just like a person, me being injected with a lethal injection in Coney Island, Coney Island Psychiatric Facility, Kings County Psychiatric Facility, and then other people like, oh, you're in your own economics. No, it's going to show up in the whole tour of all individuals that's in the social economics that was ever into international security. All their lives are going to be in danger because those are people. Somebody knows the regimen about people in their files and is going after individuals one by one. So whoever could get knocked out that didn't refine the astrological tree is getting knocked out that box or knocked out. It's like knocking out a point of communication in international security to the highest levels in all type and all social economics, even down to the secrecy, even regarding the reasons of the higher conscience. So be very careful of a person just wants to fucking international security and it's not somebody's purity, and it's because you feel like you defended somebody. Now you're actually seeing the rapid fire, the lethal injection, the literal poison that was fed to them, or the blow that was hit upon them, manifesting in front of you, and it's complicating your situation. You better think about it and learn the fucking physics and science. Be very careful, because certain people of international security are of a higher regard and different from other people that decide international security. So something people have to take what I'm saying very careful and very seriously. Have a wonderful, loving life, and we'll speak another time. How would I know this? My name is Ralph Langell, the real Raleigh, the real Osiris, the man that made international security. Love one. Independence is wonderful for education, of equality for orientation.